In today's episode of Madden 25, I'm going to be realistically rebuilding the Baltimore Ravens, but with the new addition of Malaki Starks and Mike Green. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys like and or subscribe. Let's see if we can get this video to 100 likes. I would appreciate that. But off the rip here, I just want to say that this is not really a rebuild. It's more of a kind of a maintaining the team until they can win the Super Bowl deal, because we all know that the Ravens are a Super Bowl contending team if they can just put two and two together. I know you're going to hear a bunch of memes saying, oh, Lamar Jackson's not a playoff QB, but Lamar Jackson has also had 2 first-round buys in the playoffs, so that doesn't count as necessarily a playoff win, but skipping the first round to play harder competition, I know you play the lower seed, but technically it is still harder competition, I think is a greater challenge in my opinion. But anyways, moving into the team after the draft, they got Emory Jones here in the 3rd round. I thought that was a great move. They definitely need guard. This is my favorite NFL team if you guys didn't know, so maybe I'm a little biased, but I think Malaki Starks was an amazing steal, dude. Slid down to number, 26, 27 to the Ravens. Pretty sure it was number 27 there. As same thing happened with Kyle Hamilton. He was projected to be a top 3 pick and goes to the Texans at number 3. They chose Derek Stingley. He slid all the way down to the Ravens. He's an all-pro safety now. He's only been 2 years in the league here. Malaki Starks, you don't know if it's going to be the exact same situation, but he was a top 10 player on a lot of scouts' big board. And then also getting Mike Green. He was considered also to be like a top 10 or top 15 player on a lot of scouts' board. But of course, he had certain allegations come up, similar to the Justin Tucker allegations, but not nearly as many. But the Ravens don't really care. Justin Tucker, they said it was a football move, but I don't really think so. If that stuff didn't happen to Justin Tucker, we wouldn't be having the new guy here in Tyler Loop. So apparently he's been hitting 70-yard field goal kicks in practice, but also destroying. The YouTuber does too, but he also misses a lot of kicks in the UFL, but good for him. Anyways, moving into the Ravens team here, trying to maintain the team, not necessarily rebuild it here. Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, who's actually been flourishing in this past year, so I like that he's really developing. Spent a later first-round pick on him. He's just been riddled with injuries his entire career, but he's really looking good now. He should be on the final year of his deal. DeAndre Hopkins, not a bad one-year signing. Really don't mind it. He didn't look too bad whenever he was playing for the Chiefs, so I really don't mind that he's on the team. Got Wester in the later rounds, Derrick Henry, Justice Hill, Keaton Mitchell, if he can stay healthy, I think he's a good back. Obviously, Lamar Jackson, I think he's your league MVP. If you want to debate Josh Allen, sure. I still think he's a great player. Last year, I do think Christian McCaffrey should have won the league MVP, and then this year I think it should have been Lamar Jackson, but either or here, Lamar Jackson is still a 2-time league MVP, but nobody's going to stop mentioning his playoff record. And then Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews. I really love Mark Andrews. I know everyone's like, oh, the drop at the goal line. That really sucks that he did drop that, and he's done that on numerous 2-point attempts, especially versus the Steelers, but we'll see how he goes in his career. I don't know if we're going to re-sign him long-term because Isaiah Likely does look pretty sick. Got Nate Wiggins here, Chidobe Awuzie in free agency. Cone, I forgot we had him. Of course, Malaki Starks. And the defensive line looking pretty good. Kyle Van Noy, very underrated veteran. Yeah, I believe he generated double-digit sacks last season. Odafe Away flourishing too later in his career, just like Rashad Bateman. He's putting up more and more sack numbers, but for now I'm going to keep Mike Green as the backup. And specialist-wise here, we're going to have Odafe Away and then Mike Green as the backup, and then Nate Wiggins we're going to have there. Darius Washington tore his Achilles right before I started recording this video, so I'm just going to bench him for the entire season just for this year number 1. And then apart from that, everything else looks pretty good. So let's move in to year number 1 with the Baltimore Ravens and see if we can win the Super Bowl even in year number 1. 4-3 at the midseason mark here, coming off a loss to the Buccaneers, a win to the Commanders. Our defense is allowing way too many points a game. Super frustrating, but that happened to the Ravens last year. They had one of the lowest ranked defenses, especially in passing defense last year. Second half, they put it together. But for the scouting and national focus, I do want to do defensive tackle. We just had why did I just say that? Michael Pierce retire, and Travis Jones, I don't know if he's going to be good long-term, but as of right now, I do want a long-term defensive tackle. And of course, Justin Matabike is great as well, but again, I just like having a number 2 there. Ronnie Stanley just got re-signed in real life. I don't know exactly how much it was. I'm just going to do a player-friendly deal just to make it more realistic here, and I know he got a bag it. Darius Washington, I don't know his contract. He was in a contract year. Did he get re-signed? But for DeAndre Hopkins, we're going to see how he plays. I highly doubt I'm going to keep him long-term, but again, we'll just see how he plays. Devin Leary, I'm not interested in. Patrick Ricard, I would be cool with a 1-year deal, but we'll see how that goes first. And then accept option for Kyle Hamilton, obviously. Same thing with Tyler Linderbaum. I'm pretty sure they already did it in real life. So Patrick Ricard, I'll just do a 1-year deal with him because, again, it's about maintaining the team and retaining the team rather than rebuilding the team because we got to manage that cap room situation. I don't want to just dish out contracts that I'm not able to afford. So Darius Washington already has trade offers. I don't think the Ravens will re-sign him in real life if this is the actual cap situation, if they don't restructure some contracts. But as of right now, let's see if we can make the playoffs. 11-6 here in the playoffs after coming off a crushing win to the Browns here. Second in offensive points per game, 8th in offensive passing game, 3rd in rushing game for the offense, and the defense just kind of mid there. Stats and awards here. Lamar Jackson looks like he's going for another MVP here. He's going to rank 5th for league MVP this season, 3rd best offense in the NFL, 3rd best passer rating as well, and defensively 10th. Lamar Jackson, 4,200 yards, 38 touchdowns, 12 interceptions seems too much for Lamar. 116 pass rating, got sacked 33 times. Derrick Henry here, no fumbles allowed, 24 touchdowns, 5.4 per carry, 1,400 yards. Lamar Jackson, 500 yards, 6 touchdowns. He's been running the ball less, but I still think he would run the ball more realistically. But we are in the Dallas playbook instead of the Ravens, so I like this better. Derrick Henry, crazy year. Rashad Bateman, 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns, amazing year from him. And then Zay Flowers, 900 yards, 8 touchdowns. Mark Andrews, 800 yards, 6 touchdowns. DeAndre Hopkins, 800 yards, 6 touchdowns. Still a good season from him. One of his best in recent years, but still, I still don't think I'm going to be able to re-sign him just because I don't really need him that badly. I'd rather just keep the money. And then Derrick Henry, 500 yards, 6 receiving touchdowns. Dude had 30 total touchdowns on the year. Sacks allowed. Rosengarten allows 13. That's too many. Stanley allows 5. 5 for Tyler Linderbaum. 4 for Emory Jones, the rookie. That's a great year. And then Daniel Falalele allows only 3. That's very surprising. Roquan Smith with 121 tackles for a loss, 9 for Kyle Van Noy, 8 for Travis Jones, 7 for Matabike, sacks 13.5 for Kyle Van Noy, 9.5 for Matabike, 8.5 for Odafe, interceptions 5 for Kyle Hamilton, 3 for Owuzie here, and then deflections 8 for Roquan Smith, 6 for Owuzie and Trent Simpson, and then safeties 0 defensive touchdowns, 0. Can we beat the 13-4 Denver Broncos? I'm assuming the Chiefs took their division, but can we beat them? And we do, crushing them actually, 42-7. Here to face the 14-3 Houston Texans. We are 3 overalls higher than them. Can we beat them here? And we do, 45-31, scoring back-to-back playoff games, 40-plus points. But can we beat everyone's kryptonite, the Kansas City Chiefs, everyone except for the Bengals? Here we are, snow game against the Chiefs. They're going to start out with a punt. We're going to respond with 7. Nice start for the team. They're going to punt again. We're going to punt. They're going to punt. Defense is holding strong here. 10-7 against the Chiefs here. We're going to open up half with another 3 here with Tyler Loop here, and then 13-10, 20-10 against the Chiefs, 20-17. Offense needs to step up more. 20-20 overtime here. They're going to punt, and they're going to take the game as the Ravens choke it here. We had a strong lead. The defense was doing great. The offense did not lock in. Lamar Jackson playoff allegations continue. No touchdowns, no interceptions for him. Derrick Henry, 2 rushing touchdowns. Lamar Jackson, wow, dude. What a disappointing end to a season. Another Chiefs Super Bowl run. And the Chiefs win another Super Bowl, but the Panthers surprisingly in a Super Bowl. Chris Jones wins the Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes wins the league MVP. Derrick Henry wins the Offensive Player of the Year. No other awards to the Ravens. Disappointing end to the season. In the AFC North, Aaron Rodgers on the Steelers retires. Cameron Hayward, Nick Folk, and Cornelius Lucas retires. For the team upgrades, Emory Jones comes with star development. Mark Andrews goes to superstar X Factor. Surprise, Bateman doesn't go to superstar after having a 1,000-yard season with 12 touchdowns. Defensively, though, anyone else for actual upgrades? None that I can see for the team. Everyone looks the same. Even after having 13.5 sacks, Kyle Van Noy stays the same. Let's move into the re-signing. For the players ready to negotiate, I'm going to accept the option for Kyle Hamilton and Tyler Linderbaum here. DeAndre Hopkins, I don't want. Don't really need Devin Leary. I do have $36 million to spend in free agency. I'll look into free agency, but it's only going to be 1-year contract, so that way you don't have to deal with the cap room later in the rebuild. So funny enough, I actually got DeAndre Hopkins back on a 1-year deal, Stephon Gilmore on a 1-year deal, and then DJ Jones on a 1-year deal. All just filler players for now, all on 1-year deals, so that way we don't have to worry about the cap later down the line. Let's move into the draft. We're going to have pick number 30 here in the draft. Let's see what's on the board. I might want to get a third receiver long term. I'm not really worried about edge rush or safety. I'm honestly cool on maybe need a backup for a Darius Washington. Could go with another corner as well. I mean, Tyler Binns doesn't seem the worst here. Zone coverage, 6 foot, 184 out of Purdue. Elite strength, great speed, great acceleration. A zone coverage. This dude looks sick, but he doesn't really look good in any other spot other than his zone coverage skills. Let's take a peek at this guy. This guy has A tackle, A catching as well. But then there's Demir Harrison out of Virginia, 5'10", 191. Good speed, elite acceleration here, marginal strength, B man coverage, C zone coverage, B press. He's a little bit more balanced, but Tyler Binns here, A zone coverage, dude, out of Purdue, 6 foot, 184. How do you have elite strength at 184? Run a 4.36 at his pro day. I'm going to pick up Tyler Binns here. Let's see what he's going to have. He's going to be ranked 20, got him at 30, hidden development. He looks great. And then pick number 30 in the second round. I'm going to go back-to-back defense here because our offense was balling last year, so clearly that is not the issue here, as we have Rick Drake here out of Oklahoma, 6'4", 250 linebacker, solid speed, poor acceleration, don't like that, but A play rec, A pursuit, B impact blocking, and B tackle looks pretty good. This looks like a pretty stacked linebacker class. Andrew Sherrod here out of San Diego State, 6'1", 227, not as athletic, I would say, but he does have that A awareness. Nothing else really stands out to me there. And then Marcus Brook here out of Wisconsin, 6'3", 227, great speed, good acceleration here, A awareness, B zone coverage, B tackle, B man coverage, D pursuit is not something I like, if I'm being honest. And then finally, Chad Walker out of Missouri, 6'1", 250 here, great strength, good speed, great acceleration, A awareness, A play rec, C to F pursuit, B block shedding, B tackle. I think I'm going to pick up Chad Walker here. I think he is the best athletically. A awareness is going to be a higher overall, like his play rec, tackle, block shedding. I'm going to pick up Chad Walker here in the late second round. Ranked 37, got him at 62. Unfortunately, normal development, but still a good player. And then in the third round here, let's see what we have for the defensive tackles. I don't want DJ Jones long term. Keith Hill out of Ohio State, 350, great strength, A play rec, B tackle. He has great strength. I'm just going to pick him because of the strength. Ranked 106, got him at 94. Hidden development here, 72 acceleration, 93 strength here. He will probably start over DJ Jones. I accidentally simulated the rest of the draft, but it's fine. After the draft, Tyler Binns is 75, 74 for Chad Walker, 70 for Keith Hill, 69 for the halfback that the AI picked up. Nice. They picked up a QB. Oscar Rainey here, normal development out of North Carolina, just as a depth player. That's fine with me. And this is the team going into the next season. Lamar Jackson is a 99 overall, 3 XP points that he can't use, so he's basically 102 overall. Not really. That's not how that works, but either way here, this is what we got going for the team. Probably want to get a third receiver after this season. Don't know if I'm going to be able to afford to re-sign Mark Andrews here. I'm going to move Chad Walker to right outside linebacker to fit the scheme a little bit better. And then Binns here, I do want to move up. I want Nate Wiggins up, and honestly, I would rather just have Binns at the 3 because Woozy here, I'm not going to keep long term. He did have a good season with us last year, but I would like to develop the future of the team. Hill is going to be up here, and every time I sign DJ Jones in free agency, the AI always cuts him. I'm going to start Kyle Van Noy over Mike Green. I know there's the same overall, and Kyle Van Noy's regressing, but Kyle Van Noy just gave me 13.5 sacks. I have no reason to bench him. Now let's move up Binns to our kick returner and punt returner. He's fast, and I want him getting as many reps as possible. And specialist-wise, sure, Nate Wiggins can be in the slot. Actually, he's the number 2, so we'll put Binns. No, now that I think about it again, we're going to move it there. Everything else here looks good. Kyle Van Noy is going to be coming off the edge. Let's not have Trent Simpson rushing. Everything else looks pretty good. And I'm just now realizing I don't think I saw Stephon Gilmore, so I think the AI cut Stephon Gilmore and DJ Jones, which is not what I want. But anyways, we're 5-2 here at the midseason mark, coming off back-to-back wins of the Chiefs and the Steelers, as our team is just dominant in everything except the rushing game, even though I did try to sign a defensive tackle, but of course the AI cut them. But team is all in the greens, again, except for the defensive tackle. Weekly awards coming off a win to the Steelers here, as we have Nate Wiggins, 3 interceptions in a single game and 6 tackles is nuts. Scouting national focus, I'm just going to do receiver here to get a new receiver 3, so let's not do tight end, let's do receiver. And players ready to negotiate, Mark Andrews, Derrick Henry, Odafe Away here, and then Isaiah Likely. Wow. I'm going to choose Isaiah Likely over Mark Andrews, and I'm not going to trade. Should I tag and trade him at the end of the year? He's going to be nice value. Derrick Henry, I need back, but I want to work down his contract as he regresses. So I'm going to try to do a 1-year deal and then boost his money to try and get him to stay here. And he resigns back on that. And then we're going to have probably Isaiah Likely. Then Travis Jones, he wants $13 million a year, which I can't afford. He's going to have to walk. Keaton Mitchell, I can't have. Probably going to trade him. Darius Washington, I probably want to trade. Daniel Falalele, I like, but he doesn't want to be here. And I don't have the money for him either. So this is the problem I was running into before. So there's all that. And then Kyle Van Noy, I'm not going to be able to keep. He's regressing anyways. Jordan Stout, I'll probably just draft a new punter. Wow. So this is what I'm going to do. I really like Odafe Away. I might just tag him, but As of right now, I do want Isaiah Likely to stay on the team, so that is very likely for him. Haha, I'm so funny. 5-year contract, it's much cheaper. I only have $1 million left, and I'm honestly just going to package these guys up and ship them out, other than Travis Jones, because he's technically a starter, but I could get a lot of value for Mark Andrews. Travis Jones, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm just going to package up Keaton Mitchell and Darius Washington because the rest of these guys are starters. I need them on my team. We're technically a Super Bowl contending team. We're having a good year. I'm going to trade these backup guys and then just move into the playoffs. Put Keaton Mitchell and Darius Washington in a package deal. Probably could have gotten a first if I gave up a little bit of draft capital, but I think this is fair. Keaton Mitchell's star development. He's young. He's not going to be injured in simulation there. Darius Washington, young, 81 overall. So second and a fourth round pick for the Commanders. I feel like that's fair value. And then I need to sign a backup strong safety. Let's sign Von Bell here, former Bengal, to the Ravens here, so that way we can just have a backup strong safety that I'm currently missing. And other than that, we are currently 5-2. Let's see if we are able to make the playoffs after I adjust this. So let's put Von Bell at strong safety, and then let's put this guy as the third string. So apart from that, let's see if we can make the playoffs as we are currently 5-2. Here we are in the playoffs as we are 12-5 here to face the 10-7 Los Angeles Chargers. They're an 86 overall team. We're a 90 overall team, coming off a crushing win to the Browns, 28-0, and a crushing win to the Dolphins, 35-17. Greens in all ranks, #1 defense in the NFL, #2 offense in the NFL. This should be a Super Bowl winning team, but you never know with Madden simulation. Stats and awards: Lamar Jackson's second best pass rating in the NFL here, third for league MVP behind Mahomes and Josh Allen, sixth in offensive passing yards, eighth in passing touchdowns, second best offense, #1 defense in terms of yards. Lamar Jackson, almost 4,300 yards, 34 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions this year, 120 pass rating, got sacked 26 times. Significant improvement from last year. Less interceptions, better pass rating, less sacks as well. Derrick Henry, still 20 touchdowns, 2 fumbles this year, 4.9 per carry, 1,400 yards. I'm just going to keep re-signing him and keep feeding him. Mark Andrews with 101 receptions, 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns. Great season, but I can't re-sign him. I just don't have the money to. Even if I chose not to re-sign Isaiah Likely, I wouldn't be able to afford him. DeAndre Hopkins, 13 touchdowns, almost 1,000 yards, I'm pretty sure, because he was in the slot. Still can't afford to re-sign him. Rashad Bateman, almost 900 yards, 7 touchdowns. Zay Flowers getting outperformed by the rest of the receiving core, almost 850 yards, 4 touchdowns. Sacks allowed here, 7 for Stanley, 6 for Rosengarten, significant improvement from last year, 5 for Falalele, 3 for Linderbaum, 2 for Emory Jones, who continues to outperform the rest of my team. Roquan Smith with 111 tackles for a loss, 15 for Kyle Van Noy, 14.5 sacks. He continues to ball here, but I can't afford to re-sign him again, which really sucks, and he's just going to keep regressing and getting older, so he's going to have to walk, even though he had another great season. It was the right move to start him. Matabike, 10 tackles for a loss, 13.5 sacks, 8 sacks for Roquan Smith and Travis Jones, and then 13.5 sacks for Matabike, 14.5 for Odafe Away, who I could potentially tag, hopefully, 3.5 for Travis Jones, interceptions 5 for Kyle Hamilton, 3 for Nate Williams, 3 for Roquan Smith, and then deflections on the team is 9 for Roquan Smith, 7 for Malachi Starks, 5 for Marlon Humphrey, safeties, 1 for Matabike, defensive touchdowns is 0. Can we beat the 10-7 Los Angeles Chargers to move on to the divisional round? We are the better team, and the answer is yes. 35-20 here to face the 13-4 Kansas City Chiefs. We are exactly the same in every ranking except for defense. We are 1 overall higher. They do have home field advantage. Can we beat them to go back to the conference championship here? And the answer is yes, as we actually beat them, crushing them actually 35-14 here to face the 13-4 Buffalo Bills. We're 5 overalls higher than them to move on to the Super Bowl and finally get Lamar Jackson over that hump. Here we are against the Bills. They're going to start out with a punt. We're going to respond with 6, but didn't get the extra point. 9-0 game against the Bills. Defense is holding strong, but we all said that last year versus the Chiefs. 12-0 shutout in the first half. 15-0 now against the Bills. Defense holding so strong. 18-0 here. Defense, oh my gosh, dude. 25-7. Defense holds so strong here as the Ravens will be going back to the Super Bowl for the first time since 2013. 25-7 is your final score here. Lamar Jackson, pretty good game here from him. He had 116 pass rating, but the defense is what really carried us. DeAndre Hopkins, 8 receptions, 158 yards and a touchdown is insane at his age. And here we are in the Super Bowl, here to face the 10-7 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm assuming Baker is still their QB in this simulation. And of course, he is superstar development, 88 overall Baker Mayfield in the Super Bowl, here to face the 12-5, 91 overall Baltimore Ravens. We are 4 overalls higher than them. For the team upgrades here offensively, surprisingly, DeAndre Hopkins, no superstar development. is kind of crazy to me. Defensively, any actual upgrades? Chad Walker goes from normal to star development. So even though they start with normal development, doesn't mean they're going to be bad. Tyler Binns has star development. Don't see Hill's development yet. Kyle Van Noy, even though I'm not going to re-sign him this season because he's older and I don't have the money to, back-to-back seasons, double-digit sacks, had 13.5 sacks, and then he proceeds to have 14.5 sacks, double-digit tackles for a loss. There's no reason why this guy shouldn't get superstar development, even though, again, I'm not going to be able to re-sign him. He's more than worthy of superstar development. I'm going to give it to him. So apart from that, let's see if we can beat the Baker Mayfield Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're better than them in every way to win the Super Bowl. Here we are against the Buccaneers. They're going to start out with nothing. We're going to start out with 7. Great start for the team. They're going to punt again, and then we're going to make a 13-0 game. Are we not hitting our field goals with Tyler Loop, or are we just keep going for 2 and not getting it? Specifically, probably because we passed to Mark Andrews, who drops it on the goal line. But anyways, 19-6, 22-6. Defense holding strong, and the defense is going to win us a Super Bowl here. Another Super Bowl for the Baltimore Ravens, 22-12 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here in San Francisco. The Buccaneers had to travel literally across the country for this game. Same thing with us, East Coast to West Coast, as this will be a successful rebuild, not really rebuild, successful maintaining of the team here with Lamar Jackson, the Baltimore Ravens. But can we build a dynasty? We still got 2 more years to see if we can go back-to-back here. And Lamar wins the Super Bowl MVP after only getting 1 passing touchdown. I guess I didn't look at the rushing touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes wins the league MVP. D'Amico Ryans wins Coach of the Year. Josh Allen, Offensive Player of the Year here. No other awards. The Ravens, already a successful retainment of the team, if you want to call it that. But let's see, again, if we can get some back-to-back Super Bowls, or at least more than 1 here, as Darius Slay, Kyle Van Noy, Jordan Hicks all retire. So Kyle Van Noy retired with a Super Bowl ring and a great season with us, but it's now time for Mike Green to start. And of course, I'm not going to force Mike Green's development, and especially since Kyle Van Noy was playing so well. Players ready to negotiate. I have $17 million to spend here, so I guess that changed a little bit here. Travis Jones, I won't be able to, I don't really want to dish out all my money to him. $13 million for him. I like him, but I don't know about that. I'm going to accept the option for Zay Flowers here. I like Odafe Away. He just led my team in sacks. I'm going to have to drop Mark Andrews. I'm sorry, I already signed Isaiah Likely. Travis Jones is going to have to walk. I could tag and trade someone, but if I'm going to tag anyone, it's going to be Odafe Away. Hit a great season with us. And then LaJonte Wester here should not be on that deal, but I can't do anything about it now, so I'm not going to worry about it. Same thing with Kobe King and the other guys that I missed to fix their contracts, but it's really not that big of a deal. They were depth players. They didn't even get to start at any point. So Odafe Away here, he's going to be my contract tag, so let me just tag his contracts real quick. So he's going to say no to me. I don't really care. We're going to tag Odafe Away here. He just had a pretty good season with us, so he's going to re-sign. Well, not re-sign, just stay on the tag. Negative $9 million in cap. We're losing Mark Andrews, Travis Jones, Falalele, who's doing pretty good, and all these other extras. So apart from that, I need to draft the fullback. I need to draft the punter, and let's just move into the draft. So this is the team before we get into the draft. I need a right guard. I would like depth at tight end. I would like a receiver 3. And then, oh my gosh, Hill has superstar development. He just comes with that. How convenient for my team. Barely even played. Nice. And then everything else looks pretty good here. So depth at defensive tackle, because even though Hill is good, it's nice to have a 3rd defensive tackle on your defensive line. I would like a 3rd receiver, a right guard, and depth at tight end. Then I need a fullback, a punter. I know I'm asking for a lot, especially for a Super Bowl winning team, but we'll see what we can get. Titans have the number 1 overall pick again here, as they're going to pick a defensive tackle. I want to go for a receiver here if I can. It was my scouting national focus here, as this guy's 184, 5'8" out of Tennessee, slot guy, something I need. F catching. Let's see how he does. Great speed, great acceleration. Ran a 4.34 here. A spec catch, but F catching, that doesn't make any sense. He's only a contested catcher. This guy's a physical guy. And Jordan Tofa here out of Georgia, 6'5", 321 here. He doesn't quite fit our scheme and what I need, but I could easily move Zay Flowers or Bateman to slot. This guy looks so sick. I'm going to pick this guy. A catching, A spat catch, A catch in traffic, B medium route, B release, A ball carrier vision. Jordan Tofa here, I believe is how you pronounce it, is going to be the pick. Ranked 27, got him at 32. Normal development sucks. I'm going to put him at the receiver 1, and I want to see how he can cook, because he can definitely play receiver 1. 6'5", 231. Dude's huge. I forgot I had the 2nd round pick for the Commanders as well. There's a guy, right guard, Drew Morton here out of Oregon, 6'3", 321 here. Great strength, good speed, great acceleration here. A's and B's across the board. Drew Morton is going to be the guy here. Ranked 54, got him at 52. Normal development, unfortunately, but he will be the starter immediately. And then with my late 2nd round pick, going to go for a defensive tackle here. And Michael Tolbert here, speed rusher archetype. Doesn't really fit our scheme, but nice to mix it up. Elite speed, great acceleration, still has good strength at being 286. A finesse moves, B tackle, F power moves. moves, that's fine because he's a lighter weight. Michael Tolbert is going to be the pick here in the late second round. Ranked 46, got him at 64. Hidden development, very athletic, still very strong, especially for his size. And for the tight ends, I would like a backup here. Connor Matthews out of Utah, 6'3", 258 here. Great strength, good speed, poor acceleration though, but he does have Bs across the board, so that is a little bit intriguing here. Mike Addison out of USS, F deep route immediately makes me want to say no to that guy. And then James Staley getting into the day 3 guys here at Kansas State. Elite strength is nice to see. Doesn't really seem that good after that. Junior Brooks doesn't really seem that good either out of Florida State here. Great speed, decent acceleration, F impact blocking. Let's back out on him. Deshaun Foster doesn't look good either, but Connor Matthews I think is going to be the guy out of Utah. He's a day 3 guy. Going to take him at the end of the 3rd round. You're not a good pick. Just not a good pick by me. I'll admit that. And then I'm just going to simulate my 4th round pick that I got from the Commanders, and then my other 4th round pick, get to the 5th round, draft a fullback, draft a punter, and then get to the end of the draft. Drafting a fullback, Dorian Watkins here, ranked 49, got him at 160, normal development out of Wake Forest. Really not bad value though, and it's a fullback I don't have to pay for the next 4 years. Oh, this punter looks so good, dude. Elite speed, only solid kick power though, but A awareness, A kick accuracy. My previous rebuild, I picked up a kicker that was a ranked number 2 in the draft, so he was insane. I hate it whenever it says they're a power archetype, but they absolutely have trash kicking power. Timmy Poole here though has good kicking power, elite speed, and then C kick accuracy, but he doesn't have what the other guy had, which was Evan York, which is 6'2", 200 pounds, solid kicking power, so just below good, but elite speed doesn't really matter, but A awareness, A kick accuracy is more important, so I'm going to pick up that. Let's see what we have. Ranked 51, got him at 192, really good value, normal development, that's fine. It's a punter I don't have to pay for the next 4 years. After the draft, Jordan's a 75 normal development, Drew Morton, 73 normal development, Tolbert, 73 hidden development. That was a bad pick, the tight end Matthews, but it's whatever. And then the strong safety, the AI picked, the receiver, the AI picked, and then I picked the fullback and the punter, both 73 overall normal development, pretty good value for a later round pick, so I'll definitely take that. Now this is the team after the draft. Ooh, the AI picked up a guy named Ford with hidden development. That's nice to see. Let's actually move this 6'5 guy to receiver 1, which I know it's like you shouldn't start him because he's only a 75, but Zay Flowers can be the 2, Rashad Bateman can be in the slot. Morton is going to be a normal development, but he's going to start at right guard. I don't have anyone else there. Defensively, Tolbert is going to be depth. Always like to have that. Green, Odafe away. Everything looks good. Let's move up. Binns actually 1 over Awuzie, and then I do like my depth at safety, but we'll ignore that for now. Special teams. Why is Myers here? Did you seriously cut Tyler Loop? I 100% gave him a bigger contract. Why is... Oh my gosh. I don't want him here. I wanted Loop here. But of course, the AI just doesn't care. It's trying to have the 6'5" guy play in the slot. I'm not going to have that happen. Everything else looks pretty good. Why did Loop get dropped from my team? That's super annoying. I 100% adjusted his contract to a 4-year deal. It should not be like that. 5-1 at the midseason mark, coming off a win to the Texans and a bye week. We have a top 10 offense in points per game, top 10 defense and points per game as well. Number 1 rushing defense in the NFL. You love to see that. And scouting national focus, honestly, I have so much. This team is so stacked. I just need depth at safety because why not? $70 million for the re-signings here. Kyle Hamilton's going to want a bag. He wants to have a mentor at his position, and it'll save me so much money. Let me go get that mentor for him. We had Von Bell last year, and I'm going to re-sign him again. And never mind, I'm negative $8 million in cap room, even though I have $70 million this year. Doesn't make any sense. It's literally a 1-year contract. And now I'm just going to have to pay Kyle Hamilton an absolute bag because I magically can't sign a player when I clearly have money. But sure, absolute bag for Kyle Hamilton whenever I didn't need to. Tyler Linderbaum, 4-year contract, $12 million a year for him is a steal. Marlon Humphrey, we'll see how far he regresses. Rashad Bateman, we'll see how he plays. Trent Simpson, he wants $14 million a year. I think he thinks he's like an edge rusher, not a middle linebacker. Odafe away, still doesn't want to play here. He doesn't want state income tax, completely understandable. Derrick Henry's down to an 85 overall. That's why he tried to work down his contract as he regresses. Don't need Chidobe here or Awuzie. I don't know how you pronounce that. Everything else here, not really worried about. Again, I don't know why my kicker randomly got cut from the team, but I'm going to move Where is it? Trent Simpson to middle linebacker, because for some reason he thinks he's an edge rusher and wants to be paid as an edge rusher when he's not. So I'm going to move him to inside linebacker and see what his actual contract is supposed to be. So his actual contract, he wants $10 million a year. Okay, so that's realistic for a linebacker because he's not an edge rusher. I'm moving back to outside linebacker. I'm not cheesing the system. For some reason, EA still can't fix that problem with coverage linebackers thinking they're edge rushers. And then Marlon Humphrey, Rashad Bateman, and all these other guys. We'll see how they perform at the end of the year. $21 million to spend. Let's move into the playoffs. 14-3 in the playoffs, not good enough for a first-round bye as the Bills take it at 15-2. The Chiefs' offense is great. Their defense sucks, though. We're doing really good in everything except passing defense. Typical Ravens. Stats and awards, Lamar Jackson. Please just give him the league MVP already, dude. Nope, second, as he is actually going to finish fourth, even though he is second in passing yards, second in passing touchdowns, third in pass rating, second best offense in the NFL, defensively 11th here, 4,500 yards, almost 4,600 yards, 40 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, probably the reason why he didn't get close to the MVP, but 117 pass rating, only got sacked 21 times, keeps getting better and better. Derrick Henry, 4.3 per carry, 13 touchdowns, no fumbles, 1,300 yards. Great season, but I think he's just going to keep progressing. We'll see what his contract is. Rashad Bateman, 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns. Zay Flowers was in the slot. He didn't have as many yards, but he had more touchdowns and more receptions. Both these guys deserve superstar development. And then Jordan, the rookie, 8 touchdowns, 900 yards. Isaiah Likely, 700 yards, 6 touchdowns. Not doing good as Mark Andrews, but still pretty good. Sacks allowed here, Rosengarten with 5, 4 for Ronnie Stanley, 4 for Linderbaum, 3 for Emory Jones, 3 for Drew Morton, the rookie. My guards are doing really nice. Roquan Smith with 102 tackles for a loss here, 11 for Keith Hill, 10 for Matabike, 7 for Mike Green and Odafe Away. Sacks 18.5 for Odafe Away, 17 for Matabike, 3 for Keith Hill, and only 3 for Mike Green. Kind of underwhelming after 2 years development on the bench, but sure. 3 interceptions for Trent Simpson, Roquan Smith, and Kyle Hamilton. Deflections, 7 for Marlon Humphrey, 6 for Trent Simpson and Roquan Smith. Safeties on the team, 1 for Matabike, and the defensive touchdowns is 0. Crazy that we have to face the 90 overall Chiefs just in a wild card round, as we're a 2 seed and they're a 7 seed. But can we beat the Chiefs to move on to the divisional round again here? And we do not. That's a ridiculous round 1. Like, why are they a 7 seed? That's ridiculous. Let's move into the offseason. And the Eagles beat the Bills, it looks like by a 2-point conversion here. The Bills are 0-5 in the Super Bowl. Saquon Barkley wins the Super Bowl MVP. Jalen Hurts wins the league MVP and the Offensive Player of the Year, hogging it for himself. No awards here for the Ravens. In the AFC North, nobody retires. For the team upgrades here, Zay Flowers, superstar development. Ford comes with star development. There's no way you're telling me Rashad Bateman, he literally outperforms Zay Flowers in terms of yards, not in terms of touchdowns, though. He's still an amazing year. He's been great for us. I think he's worthy of superstar development, too. Zay Flowers, probably worthy of X Factor, considering he just had 15 touchdowns and 101 receptions, but I'm going to leave him at superstar. I'm not going to be too greedy here. My fullback is already probably a higher overall than Patrick Ricard at this point. Morton's not going to get an upgrade. I'm not going to force it. He had a good rookie season, though. And then Tolbert comes with star development. No actual upgrades for the defense, though. Everything looks pretty good. Surprise, actually, even though I don't know if I'm going to be able to re-sign him, Odafe Away 100% deserves an upgrade, dude. He just had 18 sacks on the season, and Matabike just had, 17, I believe? But either way, Odafe Away 100% deserving of superstar development with 18 sacks on the season. Amazing year from him. Let's move him up to superstar development. And for those of you losers in the comments like, oh my god, that's cheating, Vic. Nah, I don't really care because this is my video. I know majority of you have a brain, but some people don't. For the re-signings, Marlon Humphrey, Nate Wiggins. I'm going to accept that option. Man, this sucks. I'm going to have to tag someone, and it's probably going to be Odafe Away again. I'm not going to have Rashad Bateman. See, I don't even sign anyone in free agency, and this is still my cap situation. Derrick Henry's down to a 77. Honestly, can I just tag him? I'm gonna do a 1-year contract with Henry to keep him back. Then Marlon Humphrey, Rashad Bateman, or Odafe Away. It's between these 3, and I think I'm just going to tag Odafe Away again. I know double tagging is wild in simulation, just in general, but I don't really care. Dude just gave me 18 sacks on a season. I'm going to force his contract until I can afford to re-sign him. So he's going to say no to me again. I don't care. It's going to be even more expensive this time, but I don't care because he just gave me 18 sacks. I'm losing Marlon Humphrey, Rashad Bateman, Chidobe Awuzie, and then all these other extras. I need to draft the kicker. Negative $21 million. for this team. And again, it's not a rebuild. It's just trying to retain the team, which is the hardest part. So let's move into the draft. In the draft, we have pick at number 24. I'm going to go after a receiver and then another corner. Well, actually, I think I need the corner more than I need the receiver. So Derek Patterson here out of Boston College. A catching, B press, B zone coverage here. Elite speed, good acceleration. Run a 4.3 flat. Yeah, Nate Wiggins part 2. Let's do that for sure. Ranked number 2 in the class. Got him at 24. A+ pick, hidden development. Absolute grand slam. For the wide receiver, I could just go with Ford that the AI drafted last year. This guy looks pretty sick though. Demetrius Newman out of Miami, 6'2", 220 here. Great strength, elite jumping, solid speed, decent acceleration. How is it only decent acceleration, solid speed at 4.45? I'm pretty sure I would think that's fast, but Demetrius Newman looks pretty good. I'm picking him up in the later second round, ranked 35, got him at 56. Hidden development, nice pick. And then let's just pick up depth at safety because I just like the safety. This guy who weighs 208 pounds has an absolute triple neck, but he has A hit power, 5'11", 208 out of something. I don't even read it. Great strength, though. A block shedding, A hit power. That dude's just a glorified linebacker. And then Keon Redmond out of Memphis, 6'1", 220. Poor jumping. That's not something I want in a safety. Then for the strong safety, Nicholas Romero. Wow, this safety class just sucks, dude. It's just not good. This guy, Jalen Landry out of Maine here, 6'2", 206. Great strength. A block shedding, another glorified linebacker. And of course, EA just kicks me out of my franchise. Thank you, dude. That's exactly what I wanted to do. So instead, let's just go with a linebacker here. Brandon Dawson doesn't seem too bad, but this guy, TJ Barton, looks better at a USC. 5'11", 228. Elite speed, ran a 4.42. A zone coverage, A hit power, B man coverage. TJ Barton is going to be the pick here. Ranked 100. Got him at 88. Hidden development, 91 speed for a linebacker is pretty crazy. And then in the 4th round, let me see if there's any standout corners here. A lot of Fs on the board. I'm already not liking that. A catching, A tackle for this guy. Dalton Kramer out of Missouri, 5'10", 203. If he weighed more, I would just put him at safety. I'm just going to take him just because he has a couple A's on the board. Ranked 54, got him at 120. Normal development, but still good value. And then finally in the 5th round, I'm going to simulate the rest after this. I just want to pick up a Tyler Loop replacement because he just magically disappeared off my team. So Jack O'Neal here out of Ferris State here is the only one with good kicking power. So I'm going to pick up Jack O'Neal here. Ranked 120, got him at 152. 92 kick power, normal development. His kick accuracy, it won't show. I actually see kick accuracy, but I'm cool with that. Why not? And for the team drafting, Derek Patterson here is a 78 overall, really high. Newman's a 74, 70 for TJ Barton, 73 for Kramer here. Normal development, but really good value. The kicker is a 69. Nice. Then I stopped drafting after that, so pretty good draft overall. Now this is the team moving into the 4th and final year. Unfortunate that we did lose our guy in Rashad Bateman. Zay Flowers should play in the slot, but I'm honestly just going to keep it like this. Let's move forward up to the number 4 because why not? Everything else looks pretty good. 77 overall, Derrick Henry. He's regressed pretty hard into the ground. And then Trent Simpson should be playing left outside linebacker, not middle linebacker. And that's what the defense looks like right now. They want Patterson playing safety. He's not big enough to do that. So he's going to be in the slot for now. He is a slot archetype. And again, I need to move all this stuff up because the AI adjusts my roster and then everything looks good. Special teams got the 69 overall. Nice. Patterson. Let's get him as many reps as possible. Defensively, once again, looking pretty good. Like the team, still think we're a Super Bowl contender, even though Derrick Henry has regressed pretty hard. Newman is going to be in the slot, and then everything looks pretty good. Hopefully, Mike Green has a good year number 2 here. Didn't really have a good year 1 as a starter, but we'll see. Let's move in to the playoffs for the 4th and final season. 10-7 this season. Here to face the 10-7 Houston Texans. They're an 88 overall or 91 overall. Coming off a loss to the Bengals, but a win to the Seahawks here. 15th in offensive points per game because our rushing game went down with Derrick Henry regressing. 7th in defensive points per game, and my passing defense just continues to get worse despite me trying to upgrade it. Stats and awards, Lamar Jackson, 17th in pass rating. Yikes. Okay, not as good as I thought. 7th best offense, 14th defense. For a guy who's supposed to be so good, 17th in pass rating is not the best. Still 103 pass rating in real life is good, but in Madden it's different. 28 sacks allowed by Lamar Jackson. Well, not allowed by Lamar Jackson, but he got sacked 28 times. 28 touchdowns to 11 interceptions, 4,400 yards. Derrick Henry, 3.5 per carry. 12 touchdowns to 1 fumble is nice, but still 3.5 per carry. He is definitely not only on the downtrend, he's just washed at this point in simulation. Zay Flowers, almost 1,300 yards, 6 touchdowns. Demetrius Newman, the rookie, 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns. Jordan, 900 yards, 5 touchdowns. Likely 700 yards, 3 touchdowns. Sacks allowed, Rosengarten is right back to allowing too many sacks, 6 for Emory Jones, 5 for Linderbaum, 3 for Stanley. Drew Morton, the lowest overall offensive lineman on my team, allows the least amount of sacks. That happens a lot in simulation. Roquan Smith, 102 tackles for a loss, 16 for Matabike, 14 for Mike Green, better season, 7 for Odafeaway, sacks, 13 for Odafeaway and Matabike, both leading the team, 7.5 for Mike Green, much better season this year, not as good as I thought he was going to be, but still pretty good. And then interception, 6 for Roquan Smith, 1 for Tyler Binns, that's it, 7 the whole year, and all 6, well, most of them, not all 6, but 6 out of 7 were from Roquan Smith. Deflections, 8 for Nate Wiggins, 6 for Kyle Hamilton, 5 for Derek Patterson here, the rookie safety, 0 defensive touchdowns, 1 for Nate Wiggins and Roquan Smith. So it is the 4th and final season. Can we beat the 10-7 Houston Texans to go back to the divisional round here? And the answer is yes, 41-18, crushing them here to face the 10-7 Los Angeles Chargers. We're 3 overalls higher than them. Can we beat them? We do. 38-22 here to face the 10-7 Tennessee Titans. Let's see if we can go to another Super Bowl here in simulation. I'll hop in if we do make it. And the answer is yes, we do. Here to face the 9-8 Philadelphia Eagles. They're a 90 overall team. They went 9-8. Simulation's weird, as the 7 seed Titans made it to the conference championship just to get slapped by the Ravens 34-9. Where have I seen that before? It's almost like they did it against the Chiefs. Let's see if we can beat the 9-8 Philadelphia Eagles to get 2 Super Bowl wins in this 4-year rebuild. Here we are against the Eagles. They're going to open up with 3. We're going to respond with nothing, unfortunately, and then we're going to get the ball back, make it 7-3. Okay, nice start there. And then 14-10 here, 14-17 at halftime, 17-17 at halftime, my bad, 20-17 here, and we're not going to score there. Interesting, 27-17, 34-17. Defense was holding strong. Offense picked up there late in the 4th quarter. 34-24 is your final score, as your Baltimore Ravens are once again 2-time Super Bowl champions in the past 4 years of this rebuild. So I would definitely say this is a successful rebuild, more like retention of the team here, as Lamar Jackson, 134 pass rating, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 100% is going to win the Super Bowl MVP. Derrick Henry will probably retire. Isaiah Likely with a touchdown, 66 yards here. So pretty good game from him. Sacks, 1 for Odafeaway, Matabike, and Chad Walker. Nice to see that. Your Super Bowl MVP is in fact Lamar Jackson. J.J. McCarthy wins the league MVP. Demetrius Newman wins the Offensive Rookie of the Year. 2 Super Bowl wins within a span of 4 years. Definitely a successful video for us. In the AFC North here, Amari Cooper retires in the Bengals. I can actually see that happening, but I was surprised that Derrick Henry isn't just going to retire with the ring, especially since he's going to regress here a lot in simulation. Yeah, down to a 70 overall without the boost. Newman is up to a superstar development. Any other upgrades on the team here? I didn't look into the Super Bowl, but Matabike goes up to superstar X Factor. That's awesome to see. Patterson only comes to star development, but great team rebuild. Let me know down in the comments below which team you would like me to rebuild next. Honestly, Malaki Starks didn't do as well as I thought he would in simulation. Same thing with Mike Green, but hey, they got 2 Super Bowl rings and I don't. So other than that, guys, thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.